Girl power and guitars can only mean one thing, the Ladybug Festival in Wilmington. Coming up, we'll tell you what to see, where to see it, and what's new this year. We're not messing around. The 302 is rocking your way. Hey 302, if it's the third week in July, it can only mean one thing in Wilmington, musical maidens and the Ladybug Festival. And joining me now to talk about all there is to see, do, and hear is Gail Dillman and Jeremy Hebel.
You got it.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about how this block transforms with music and mayhem in a fun way.
In a very fun way. So it starts at about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We shut down the road and the stage is being built and the vendors start loading in. And it becomes transformed into this incredible music venue. Food trucks are lining, we have an outdoor bar, we have tons of people who show up by about 5 o'clock and it kicks off and music is everywhere.
So Jeremy, let's talk about these food trucks, shall we? What's the deal with the food trucks?
So it's a big attraction to the event, as food trucks are becoming an attraction to most events now. But we will probably have, I think, somewhere around 5 to 7 different food trucks. In addition to the wonderful restaurants that are right here on the block for people to enjoy. There's tons of food. And so pretty much all the local favorites are going to be here. There's some food trucks that are very much in demand here in Wilmington. We got them.
Everybody is like food trucks. You get their interest right away. But what kind of food?
So Mojo Loco is like unbelievable, like Mexican street food. It's incredible. Kapow is going to be like wonderful Thai food. We've got, who else is here?
We have something for everyone. We're going to hold some of it back as a little bit of a secret who's going to be showing up. But we'll have food for everyone. We'll have ice cream. There'll be something for everyone. We're going to have a good time for sure.
It's July, gotta have ice cream.
You gotta have ice cream.
Exactly, but the star of the show is the music. Talk to me about who are we going to be able to see this year or listen to?
You will see over 50 women performing here that night. So they'll be in different venues up and down the street. I think we have 12 venues this year, including our outdoor stage. So we have them starting at 5 o'clock going till about, I'd say 10:30 or so at night. So it's a pretty early night. And we will have all kinds of music available for people to go and experience, all genres. We're not genre specific, so if you don't like one thing, you go listen to something else.
One of the things we're really excited about is this year for the headlining act, we've put together an all-female band and they'll be paying tribute to some of the most amazing women in music. So Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Beyonce. I mean, it's a big, soul performance, and we've got all these different guest vocalists that are going to be there, and a lot of them are very familiar to people in the area. The entertainment that we've always focused on for Ladybug is kind of who's next, who's on the way up. So you want to come to our event if you're looking to discover that next big thing, not necessarily to pay $300 and see the artists that have already gotten so big. In previous years we had Larkin Poe, we've had Lauren Ruth Ward, we've had Caroline Rose, we've had Mary Lambert. There's always some really exciting acts that people are going to go, oh, I saw them at Ladybug way back when. And so we've got a ton of acts. A ton of acts that fall in that category of like, you're going to hear about them soon. But also on the main stage this year, we're going to have Joy Ike and her sister Peace, who've been one of the most in-demand acts over the years, and we're super excited to put them on the main stage this year. We've got Jessica Latshaw, who
we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
She's coming in. She hasn't been performing for some time, so this is a big. She's also writing and currently writing a book as well. So she's got a lot going on. So she's coming in from Boston, and her family is from the Lancaster area. And so we're hoping that they'll be here and supporting her, and we're really excited about that.
Now, this is a wonderful event. How did this all start? 8 years ago?
Well, it all started because of Debbie Schwartz. We had just started doing music down this block, and no one knew that this block really existed. And we were doing music a couple doors down from here and trying to get people to come to the block and experience something new, which was live music that was original music, not just cover music. So Debbie and her then partner, Mike Schwartz, had decided, well, we want to throw a little thank you block party for our people who come down here. And they gave us a little bit of money to start this off and said, what can you do with that? And we said, oh, well, let's just put music in different venues. About the same week that happened, Firefly was announced.
Oh.
And everybody was in just a snit over, there were no local bands on the lineup. So we decided we would make ours local. We came up with the name Ladybug instead of Firefly. We sort of, we were just
Play on words, yeah.
Yeah, playing with it a little bit. I didn't realize that Ladybug is a state bug of Delaware at the time, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
So happy accident there. And we decided to make it all about women, Ladybug, ladies, so it just seemed to work. And we had, as Debbie mentioned, over 500 people show up the first time. And the street was closed, but there were no vendors. There was just 4 venues. We had all these people come out, and we said, I think we're onto something.
So I know in the past there was Lilith there.
Yes.
So this is the largest
celebration of women in music in the country. It's right here in Wilmington, Delaware. And we actually worked with the company to make sure when we said that, it was actually true. So we are a free community event. We are sponsored by Chase. They are been our partners for now 3 years. 3 years? 3 years. As well as the shops down here, Second and Loma, what Debbie's, her business over here as well. And we are really excited to be able to hold that up to the world and say, look at what we are doing in Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah. The largest in terms of the number of performers that are coming, the number of attendees that are going to be here as well.
Excellent. Well, really excited. We're going to be talking to Debbie Schwartz, the founder of the festival, coming up next. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tina Betts, and that is 302 just an area code for the city of Wilmington. 302 is a show that you can watch and that I'm watching.
Welcome back. We're talking about the Ladybug Festival, and there will be so many people pouring down the street. And we wanted to talk a little bit about the business impact of all of this. And joining me now is Debbie Schwartz. She's with the Lofts at 2nd and Loma. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the impact this festival has on the businesses that are in this block.
We are a city block square, and we're called 2nd and Loma. We have the lofts and the shops, 86 apartments and 20 commercial spaces. The event started 8 years ago with about 500 people the first year, and I think well over 5,000 last year. So what do 5,000 people mean to a block in a 5-hour span? A lot. The block is closed. And full of vendors and merchants and music throughout our businesses on the block, as well as on an outdoor stage and a stage at Dell Tech, which is right behind us. So anytime you want to bring thousands of people, it absolutely would have a big impact.
So you have a lot of businesses on the block that you mentioned. There's the coffee shop on the corner. They must sell a lot of coffee.
Loma Coffee is a great restaurant that sells a lot of coffee and a lot of food. And this is their type of event. It's a creative business and a creative event, so.
Do they have like a Ladybug coffee or something special for the event?
I don't recall. I don't think so, but.
It might be something to think about this year, for sure.
All the doors are open for sure, and it's packed. It's one of the better venues on the block for music because it has a really good feel to it. Maybe it is the coffee.
There you go, sure. Well, you were saying that there are a lot of retail here, but it's like service kind of things. What kinds of things are people going to discover, maybe for the first time when they come down?
We have a photography studio on our block, which various photographers work out of. and they have a lot of shows, especially on the Art Loop, which is the first Friday of every month downtown, and we draw large crowds for that as well. Not 5,000 people, but several hundred people on a monthly basis. We have 2 hair salons, a barber shop, we have a tax person here, several restaurants. We have an Indian restaurant, Chicky's Pizza Pub, which is a sports bar type of establishment. Eat Clean, which is one of our new businesses with lots of healthy drinks and food, and even works well for those that are vegans. We also have Fit Body, so we have a personal training studio on the block as well. With the 86 apartments of people upstairs, we try to have businesses that make sense for the people that live here, so this can be their little local community.
So they don't have to go too far if they got to get a haircut or they're hungry or whatever.
Exactly.
So when all these people come in, do you know if the businesses, if they do any kind of theme day, or we talked about the coffee that Loma Coffee needs to, this Ladybug coffee, anything like that with those businesses?
Several of the businesses expand to the sidewalk, so they open their doors and do outside setup. So there will be other things specific to Ladybug that I'm sure that they will be doing in bringing people to the outside and the inside of their businesses. And many of the people that come to Ladybug maybe have never even been in the city of Wilmington. So it's a great way to expose people to the great things that go on downtown.
Sure. And talk to me about the history behind this block.
This was originally 22 brownstones from the late 1800s. The building was renovated in 2004 to 86 apartments overhead. In the old days, most people had their shops downstairs and then lived overhead. And the nice part when the renovations were done is they kept a lot of the integrity of the building. So we have a lot of elevation changes. We have apartments with very high ceilings and huge windows and steps even in their apartments. So they're mini homes inside our big block. And the outside, of course, had to remain historic. So you can see the same character. We have pictures in this office as well as throughout the building that show what it actually looked like back in the day.
So it's gone through a lot of changes, and I know it's still going through changes today. Can you talk a little bit about what's coming in the future? I know there's one historic building that just stands alone outside. It's very interesting.
Across the street, they're building some more apartments, which are not part of our property, but we're always happy to see development downtown and more people wanting to live and work in the city of Wilmington.
New neighbors.
Absolutely.
That can join in on the Ladybug Festival. What's your favorite part about the festival?
I believe, to me, it's free. It's seldom that families and people can come to a free event, and it is a welcoming event, and you will see babies in strollers to elderly folks, everybody from everywhere, and the amount of music, to have 45-ish, I believe this year, female performers throughout the entire block playing simultaneously in multiple locations. I don't think that's happened anywhere else as it's happened here. And I believe this is one of the biggest, or the biggest, female festivals across the entire country.
The vibe just must be incredible walking down the street knowing that there's a venue here, venue here, venue here. Talk to me about just the vibe of it.
It's hard to even capture it all. I try to run from shop to see the different performers, but it's a night packed full of music, and it's just such a nice feeling. With the block closed, with the vendors, the performers, to see your neighbors, to see people that you don't know. So many of my friends come from all over and just can't believe that this is actually happening at such a big scale on this block.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to it. Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
I'm Jerry from Out and About Magazine, and we love the 302.
Welcome back. We're talking about the Ladybug Festival. It's not just 1, but 2 days, and we're going to talk about everything you can do on day 2 with one of the performers, Lauren Keeney. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us about the second day. You've got a lot planned this year.
So it's a brand new concept this year. We're opening all of the venues up along Market Street, the bars, restaurants, some other more retail venues like Space Boy Clothing will be more of a punk rock sort of venue.
Sure.
And we're playing it off of a pub crawl. We're calling it a bug crawl.
That's
So people will be able to hop up and down Market Street, check out everything that the street has to offer.
So whenever they come, they're going to see a wide variety of people performing, especially on that second day. Talk to me about the vibe and...
You're going to be overwhelmed with performers to try to see that day. So there will be over 50 artists Friday, and there will be over 50 on Thursday as well. So our big, push this year was 100 acts, and we've done it. And there's going to be music filling the air all up and down Market Street. It's going to be amazing. We're shooting for Broadway and Nashville-esque a little bit vibe. We're trying to create that in Wilmington and just filling everywhere with music. There's even a Nashville showcase at Farmer and the Cow. We're bringing in 4 artists, singer-songwriters. Some are bringing bands and trios up from Nashville.
Now you've done the festival, you performed in the festival 7 times, you said, right?
Correct.
So talk to me about, where it started and what it was like to perform and what it's like today.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a funny story. I actually stumbled on the first Ladybug Festival. I was living in the Lofts at 2nd and Loma, where the festival started, and I happened to be walking home from practice and stumbled upon this amazing festival. Got inspired myself to share my original music, and the next year I got hooked up with Gable Music Ventures. They gave me some opportunities to play and played the festival, fell in love with it. I've been in love with it ever since, and just to see the growth from a small block party to over 10,000 attendees over 2 days with a wonderful Chase sponsorship. It is incredible. Even landing in Billboard magazine.
Nice.
Just the growth of it is amazing, and the fact that it has stayed free is incredible for both attendees and artists. Every artist is paid, but to have such a welcoming environment for, to give something to everybody is fantastic.
So talk to me about what it's like to perform in the festival itself.
It's a whirlwind, but it's so fun, it's so energizing, and to me personally, it's kind of a benchmark every year that, I get so filled by it, being surrounded by so many other performers and artists just doing their thing and being unapologetically themselves and feeling comfortable coming into an all-female lineup. It's really amazing, and it's a unique festival in that, and it just supercharges me. While it is a whirlwind, it is awesome to come in and play and share and then see everything everybody else has to offer.
Mm-hmm. Now, while it's a female festival, there are men performing, right?
Absolutely, yes. So the requirements are that it is a female-fronted act or band, and that is inclusive as well of anyone that identifies as a female or a woman or, in between. And men can be part of the backing band. You can have a drummer or a bassist, or as long as the main featured part of the act presents as a woman.
So it's all inclusive to everybody. You want everyone to feel just the warmth and the love and just to enjoy the music, because that's the bottom line, is the music, right?
Absolutely, yes. Everyone is welcome. That's part of why it's free. No matter who you are, where you're coming from, please come check it out. There is literally something for everyone here.
Now, talk to me a little bit about your music. What kind of style are you? Where do you find yourself on the spectrum?
So I'm a singer-songwriter. So my music solo is very acoustic, coffee shop, sort of, little Ingrid Michaelson, but a little like soft rock as well. With a band, it becomes more alternative folk, Americana. My guys that back me or put a little more rock onto it. So it's a little different depending on where you catch me.
Now we're going to hear from you a little bit later. What's the song we're going to be hearing?
It's called Drive You Home.
Now, is this an original? Or?
This is an original piece, yep.
Yeah, is there a story behind it?
A little bit. I was working on some songwriting retreats last year, and I had just gotten really back into writing. This was my way of trying to write to the Nashville template for kind of a country pop-ish song. And no matter how hard I tried, it still came out with my stamp on it. But I really like it that way. It's still not Nashville, but you know, I'm really a big fan of it. And it was written to my future partner, so whoever that might be, I'm gonna drive him home.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing it. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with Lauren's song. That'll do it for this edition of the 302. If you'd like more information on the festival, be sure to visit theladybugfestival.com. We leave you now with Lauren Keeney and Drive You Home.
Following the signs when our worlds collide, we can finally see eye to eye. But you're not sure.